So it's day 55 of the daily dollar cost average. And again, we'll just get straight into it. We'll do the conversion from the stablecoin DAI over to Bitcoin. So we transfer $333 of DAI to Bitcoin. Okay, so as you can see, the portfolio is up a little bit. But if you look, everything's down. Like the all the alts are down. You know, actually, Chainlink's up 8.12%. Algorand's up 1.9, but it's not really a very robust day today. So whatever. And so we'll go over to YouTube just to check out what the funny pages are saying, you know, what the lunatics are saying. Okay, so again, you have this guy $65,000 Bitcoin breakout. Another guy's talking about a cash out plan, bull market, $1 million Bitcoin cash out plan. When the best time to sell your cryptos, so on and so forth. Yeah, and this guy's just talking about people are going to be buying on the dips, but that goes without saying. That always happens. Goldman Sachs buying heavy bags of cryptocurrency in Q2 2021. Last chance Bitcoin holders. So actually, I wouldn't mind hearing that. You know, that's Altcoin Daily saying that. So, anyways, yeah, it's just this guy. That's why I sold my Bitcoin. This guy, the crash is coming. Again, it's just this is why you daily dollar cost average. It's just, you know what I mean? Like it's just craziness. It You have all these people who will literally say one thing one day and the polar opposite the next, and they don't even flinch. Like I'd be embarrassed to say that, to say like, oh yeah, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and it doesn't do it, and just keep talking about something else. Like this is why people don't make any money, is because you're basically chasing your tail, and it's not going to work, man. Like it's not, especially in something like this. Like it's just craziness. It's not based on anything, right? So, but anyways, we'll listen to this guy here. Is it this one? Oh, not this one. Where's the one that there was an interesting one I wanted. Let's just see here. Where is it? It's the one about, I think it was from CNBC or. Yeah, this one here. We'll watch this one.
Goldman Sachs is getting close to offering Bitcoin investment products to its wealthy clients. Hugh Son joins us now. Does Goldman know Bitcoin was like $4,000 like 18 months ago, and now it's like 57,000? This is part of their expertise. Hugh?
All right. Institutional accumulation of Bitcoin in 2021 has only just begun. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on cryptocurrency every day. Be sure to check out our live stream we dropped yesterday afternoon. Great conversation, great Q&A. Check it out, link down below in the description. But the biggest news today is that sometime in Q2 of this year, so in the next 3 months, Goldman Sachs will officially start offering Bitcoin and other digital assets to its wealthiest clients. You know that means that heavy accumulation will probably be taking place in the next few months from Goldman Sachs, and probably just FOMO in general from other major companies seeing what Goldman Sachs is providing. And if you're asking why all of a sudden are we seeing the FOMO? It's because their institutional clientele demanded this of them.
Does Goldman know Bitcoin was like $4,000 like 18 months ago, and now it's like 57,000? This is part of their expertise view.
Well, Joe, I think those dizzying charts that everybody is looking at and salivating over, that's one of the reasons why Goldman and others are getting into this. They are in a client business. So when clients of Goldman Sachs or clients of Morgan Stanley, call up their financial advisor and say, should I have an allocation to Bitcoin? Look at what it's done. Should I have a 1%, 2%, 3% allocation to this emerging asset class? They've had to say, well, as a firm, we can't really recommend that. Well, that changes, and that changes very, very soon. So as we report exclusively on CNBC.com, Goldman Sachs is very close, and in the second quarter will begin offering Bitcoin and other digital asset-related investments to its private wealth management clients. This is sort of the Tony private bank of Goldman Sachs. They really target people and endowments with at least 25 million in assets under management.
Wow.
Okay, listen to this. Just think about that. Goldman Sachs elite clients are going to be offered Bitcoin, but nobody else. You have to have at least $25 million to be part of this group. And again, I'm not saying I'm Albert Einstein. I'm not saying I'm a genius for figuring this out. But if you're offering something to the richest people, the richest of the rich that you have as clients, do you think they believe in it? I would say yes, but you never know. I've been wrong before, but I'm saying, just think about what that guy just said. Goldman Sachs, one of the most prestigious heavyweight money managers on Wall Street, is only going to be giving it to the richest people. What does that tell you? And if you know something I don't know, seriously, write it in the comments if anybody's listening. But I'm saying that it's just something I don't think they would risk if they didn't think it had any sort of legs to it. Especially to your richest clients, like he's saying, endowments, stuff like this. And like he said, it's a client-driven business. People have been begging for this because they these clients, they're not dumb. They've been looking at their returns, getting 1%, 2%. They hear about it's on the news. Bitcoin's going up tenfold in a year. Like he said, it was $4,000 last year. Now it's $57,000. And these rich people see this on TV, and they feel like they're missing out. So you could even argue, like he's saying, minimum, their minimum clients have $25 million. Okay? $25 million. You could argue that the real money hasn't even entered into it yet. He's saying, okay, Q2 2021 is when they're going to start offering this. And they're probably not going to go, balls to the walls right off the bat. It's probably going to be a slow, accumulation. They're probably going to, because they have to test the waters too, right? But they're probably going to say to their clients, okay, this is what we're going to do. Basically doing what I'm doing, like daily dollar cost averaging sort of a thing. They'll probably say, okay, you got some of these people, 50, 100 million. Like in New York City alone, it's nothing to find clients with 50, 100 million bucks. There's a lot of people. Not everybody's an out-and-out billionaire, but there's a lot of people in New York City with 300 million, 400 million, stuff like that. I'm talking just people, never mind organizations or anything. There's a lot of people that, that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You go to Manhattan, I bet you the government doesn't even release the net worth of the average person, on Park Avenue, because people would probably freak out. It would, it would cause social unrest. There's apartment buildings to rent are $60,000 a month in Manhattan. $35,000 a month, $60,000 a month, stuff like that. And people pay it like it's nothing, like, because you got to remember, there's people that are like, the offspring of, like, the Rockefellers, the DuPont family, like Henry Ford's, offspring, cousins, like that wealth has to go somewhere. It doesn't disappear. And so the offspring of these mega rich people, go somewhere. And again, maybe some of them aren't, on the Forbes list of the richest people anymore, but there's a lot of them with still hundreds of millions of dollars. And they're the types of people, I don't know if you've ever seen that show, like Will and Grace, that one woman there, Karen, she's, like that, just like an heiress. She doesn't work, doesn't do anything, but she's mega rich. People like that. I bet you that's based on like on an archetype. Like that's not just made up. There's lots of people in New York City that are like that they don't have jobs, have never had a job. All they do is go shopping and go to lunch with friends. I'm totally serious. They get driven around in limousines and live in penthouses. And you can never drain their money. There's lots of people like that in New York City. Lots of them like that in London too. I guess any major city really, but especially New York and London, there's a lot of people like that. And so anyways, but these people, while they're sitting in their penthouses, they're watching television, so on and so forth. They hear Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. And then they look at their statements and they're like, okay, Mr. Goldman Sachs representative, my $500 million only increased by like 1.6% last year. Yes. Well, I'm watching TV and I keep seeing all this stuff about Bitcoin going up 10 times. If I would have been in that, my 500 million would be 5 billion. What are you doing? That's how it starts, man. I'm totally serious. And these guys, I would say for a while, were like, oh, it's just a scam. Oh, that's going to crash any day now. Okay, this has been going on for 10 years. This scam has been going on for 10 years. Like that argument starts to wear thin. Like if somebody would, let's say for instance, somebody mentioned it like 6 years ago when Bitcoin was like $200. Said, I want to go into this Bitcoin. Oh no, it's a scam. And the person listened to you. Okay, all right, whatever. It's a scam. Now they're looking at it. It's almost $60,000. How can you possibly come up with an argument? For every year for the past 6 years, you've been talking somebody out of something that it's going to blow up. It sucks. It's a scam and every other thing. And they can see it went from $200 to 60 grand. Meanwhile, what you put me in is flat at best. Could you imagine if you listened to a guy like that Peter Schiff who kept you in gold? You'd be losing money. Like these arguments start to wear thin after a while. You keep saying how much it sucks, but it keeps going up, and it's not a flash in the pan. Like how, and I guess like Goldman Sachs has apparently just waved the white flag and commit, and admitted defeat and said, yeah, you know what, you're right. This thing actually, it works. We don't know why, but it works. But again, this sort of a thing too. And once Goldman Sachs puts their stamp of approval on it, like this, boom, Goldman Sachs does this. Now it's going to open up the floodgates for all the lesser money management companies because they're all followers. They're all sheep, right? Like these guys, like RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, Toronto Dominion, up in Canada, CIBC. Those guys are all, they're bitches. They're somebody's bitch. And, Bank of America, all them, they will not do anything unless they see somebody like Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is like the handsome quarterback that got all the girls, right? Like if nobody wears leather pants because they think they're stupid, if that guy comes to school one day wearing leather pants, guess what? Everybody's going to the mall buying a pair the next day. You know, it's that sort of a thing. He's the hunk that gets all the chicks, has the cool car. All the guys want to be him, and all the girls want to do him. You know what I mean? That's what Goldman Sachs is. It's the popular kid at school that whatever he says, that's law. And as soon as Goldman Sachs put their stamp of approval, guess what? You're going to start seeing all the little bitches start doing the exact same. It's like when idiots got tattoos. Back 40 years ago, the only people who got tattoos were like bikers, like really hard-ass dudes, like, or actual like guys that were like sailors and shit like that. The regular people very seldom, like you were totally looked down upon for having a tattoo years ago. Like I'm talking years and years ago. It was only trailer trash or outlaw bikers. Or again, if you're in the Navy or some shit. But now people like, where's your tattoo? Why? Because the Johnny Depp or someone got one and everybody, you know, oh, that's so cool. I want one. It's the same thing. This stamp of approval of Goldman Sachs is way more. It's more than just the actual quantity of money that they themselves are going to be putting in. It's symbolic, and it's going to be a major driver for Bitcoin because, like I said, it's not just a Wall Street money company. It's the Wall Street money company. These are the people that, you know, basically set the paradigm. They are the trendsetters. These Goldman Sachs, this is the company. Like when, like the guy that's the handsomest guy in school, he's got the best marks, he's this, that, and the other thing, gets accepted into Harvard, business school. You know the job he's dreaming about getting? Goldman Sachs. When you go to Harvard Business School, I would say 90% of those guys, and they don't take a lot of people, maybe a couple hundred a year. I'm not really sure exactly how many they take. But think about that. You have a country like the States with over 300 million people, but don't forget, obviously Harvard's an international school. You're going to get people from England. You're going to get people from all over the world, China, India, whatever. The smartest kids in the whole world want to go to Harvard Business School. Okay, so you go to Harvard Business School and you have, again, the smartest people in the world who are incredibly competitive going to the same school. And what's the main dream that they have, every one of them? Their main dream is to go to Goldman Sachs. There's a few other ones that might want to go to Bear Stearns. Maybe their dad went there, works there or whatever. There's different ones, but Goldman Sachs is like one of the holy grails. I'd say Lehman Brothers used to be one till they went out of business. Bear Stearns, but they went out of business, But there are a few, Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns that's what people don't understand about those two. They were right up there with Goldman Sachs. Like Lehman Brothers was, I don't know about as prestigious as Goldman Sachs, but pretty close. Bear Stearns was pretty big too. They're both really, really, really important companies. And but Goldman Sachs is like the leading money house now. And like I said, when the hunk of the high school does something, that's when everybody starts doing it, And like I said, you mark my words, like up here in Canada, because that's where I am, is the banks won't even allow you to put your money in Coinbase. They block it. And I phoned about it, and she goes, "We're worried about you. That's why we do it." And if there's one cliche that I totally think does ring true, is never trust anybody who says they do something for your own good. That I do believe. This woman, some manager's like, "We do it because we don't want you to lose money." And I'm like, "Really? You're worried about me?" "Yes, we're worried about you." Okay, so why don't you block people's money when they go to a casino? Because there's like a 99% chance you're going to lose money there. "Well, that's different. That's legal." Okay, so now you're talking about what, legalities. What I'm doing is not illegal. So why are you blocking it? Because we're worried about you. Like they had a whole script. The bank, I've never heard of the bank ever blocking anything. I used to work at, a few different banks. I've never heard of them doing that before, but they're doing it against crypto. Like that's coming from head office. That's just not some idiot in a branch coming up with that. That's directions from an executive. Block crypto trading. Okay? Mark my words. I give it, now that Goldman Sachs is part of this, mark my words. I can't speak for America because I don't live there. But I can speak for Canada because I live here and I've experienced them blocking my account to put money into crypto. But mark my words, 6 months to a year, because they're always slow in the draw. Canadians are like, $2 short, 6 weeks late for everything. And, but anyways, mark my words. They will be promoting crypto in about 6 months to a year. Like they're going to be saying, have you bought your crypto yet? And then they're going to be promoting the hell out of it. Why? Because the hunk Goldman Sachs said so. That's the way these people, and these are supposed to be like the leaders of the bank. They're just followers. Like because Goldman Sachs, the Biff Logan of the friggin' money houses said so. And for no other reason. Don't think that these Canadian banks are sitting there calculating. They're too dumb for that. It's because Goldman Sachs said so. And if Goldman Sachs said so, that's good enough for me. That's the way these idiots up here think, right? And don't let anybody tell you different. If you think these guys are smart, they're not. They all know each other. They're just there because they're related to somebody or something like that. I remember meeting a vice president. I'm like, I'm going to take an MBA. Which one would you recommend? He goes, I don't know, take whatever one you want. I go, well, which one did you take? He goes, I don't have an MBA. This guy's a vice president of a bank. I go, okay, so you don't have an MBA? No. I go, well, what do you have as a degree? Oh, I never went to university. I go, what education do you have? He goes, I finished high school, started off as a teller, worked my way up. And I go, so you have no formal education? No. And he goes, and I go, well, like, what would you recommend? Like, what MBA? He goes, around here, tell everybody you went to Harvard. He goes, nobody cares. He goes, nobody's going to check and nobody cares. This is coming from a VP of a bank in Canada. And I'm just dumbfounded. I'm like, well, what's the point of going to school? If these idiots are running, the biggest financial firms in Canada and none of them are educated. What's the point? What's the point of all this? It's a facade, right? But anyways, these idiots that run these banks in Canada, at least I can't speak for the States because I don't know. I don't live there. But I can say 100% for certain because I've worked there. I've worked at two of them. That like two of the big five banks, that there's a lot of morons running stuff. And I can tell you right now, they just do what like a bigger fish tells them to do. That's it. That's the secret of Canadian banking. And if they ever run into trouble because it's kind of quasi-government, they can just get money from the government. Because there's only allowed to have like 6 or 7, I think, chartered banks. And if they ever run into trouble, Bank of Canada just gives them free money. So it's a great thing, like for them, because like you can be as dumb as you want and there's always a bailout. So that's essentially what Canadian banks are all together. But what's going to happen is, like I said, when they see their big, sexy, older brother burning it up with Bitcoin, those bitches got to follow suit. And they will. I 100% guarantee you. 100% guarantee. You will start seeing them actively promote cryptocurrency within a year. It will be on every billboard. When you go into the branch, it's going to be on posters throughout the branch, and they're going to train their staff. Have you bought your Bitcoin yet? And they will be actively pushing it on people. So like I said, if it, excuse me, if it's reaching the prices it's reaching right now, being like they're trying to hold it back. It's like holding back the lid on a boiling pot. You know, you can feel it rumbling. You know, you can feel it. You can feel those it's gonna blow, man. If it's going up the way it is right now, with the banks trying to take it down, what the hell's gonna happen to the price when they're promoting it? You know. Anyways, that's my thoughts for today. And I personally think this is huge news, but it might go down. Like, who knows? Like, that's why daily dollar cost average, because nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. Because you got to remember, this is the thing too. It's like when you get into investing, this is probably the only thing you can get into where you can be an out and out amateur and go up against the pros. Like, if you wanted to get into pro boxing, like, you have to go through the ranks. Like, you have to go through amateur ranks. Somebody has to, you know, give you a pro card. Like, you can't just walk into, like, I'm going to fight, you know, Mike Tyson when, you know, Tyson was around and stuff. You can't do that. Like, you got to build up, you know, get an amateur record. Somebody, I guess a bunch of trainers take you on, then you get a pro card, you get management and all this stuff. It's not easy to be a pro boxer. It's like you can't walk into the NFL. Yeah, I'm here to play football. Like, you got to go through the college system. You have to be drafted. Like, there's all this stuff. But with the problem with investing is anybody can go open up an account, start investing, but you have to realize a lot of guys on the other side of those trades are out and out pros. Like, and I mean, like, LeBron James talented pros that you think you're kicking ass, but these guys are trying to sucker you. That's the problem with investing, is that it's open to anybody, and there's guys that are world class. You know, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson's, you know, LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky's level of talent as far as trading is concerned. And a lot of people walk into a lot of traps, you know. So anyways, that's my rant for today. And, you know, I think this is good news with Goldman Sachs. You're going to start seeing the lesser banks start to do this because, you know, it's inevitable. But we'll see. We'll just keep an eye on it and take care. Oh, yeah, this is the other thing. I might not have any broadcasts for the next week or two because my house is up for sale and there's going to be people coming and going. So I got to, like, dismantle my broadcast sort of thing. But I'll still be buying. I don't think it'll be broadcasted. Just because I got to disassemble this thing because there's people walking in and out of the house, you know, coming in for viewings. So anyways, that's it for today. And I might not see you tomorrow. I might not see you for a week, maybe two. But again, I will be doing the trading on my own, like just on my own iPad or whatever. And so anyways, I'll probably see you in a bit. It could be tomorrow, but I'm not really sure how this is going to unfold because there's way more people coming here than I thought there was going to be. And it could pose a problem. But anyways, take care, and I'll see you when I can. Take care.